Good evening, everybody. This is Rob, a licensed agent with the agency and admin in the Colorado Springs Rentals Group. There was a question this evening about closing costs, and this is something I've been meaning to talk to recently. But there are three terms you should be aware of when you're talking about closing costs in a mortgage or in a transaction here in Colorado. I'll preface this by saying this is not legal advice; this is just practical advice. But I did want to just briefly touch on these three terms. What most of us know as closing costs is usually seller's concessions towards a buyer's costs. So there are three terms you should be associated with or familiar with. There's closing costs, there's seller's concessions, and then there's the closing services fee. Closing costs are very generally defined as the costs associated with getting a mortgage on the buyer's side. The origination fee, some of the title costs, also the closing services fee. Paragraph 15.2 in the 2016 contract talks about the closing services fee. It's important to know that this is not closing costs. If you don't ask for any seller's concessions in a mortgage, you're not getting closing costs. Even, for example, in paragraph 15.2 right here, if you say one half buyer, one half seller, that could be interpreted by some folks as hey, they're paying half my closing costs. That is not true. That is the fee to title for doing the closing. It's a couple $100 fee. In this case, it would be split, but it is not closing costs. Seller's concessions are the seller's contributions towards the buyer's closing costs. So it's real important to know that term, seller's concessions, is what most of us would conceive of as closing costs. But it's the seller's contributions towards your closing costs, which include title costs, loan origination fee, etc. I just wanted to throw that out there this evening. Have a great night, and please let me know if you have any other questions. Good night.